This is my pet magpie, Derrick. I raised him from the time he was not even a fledgling yet, just a hatchling. And this is the first winter that of his 3 years that he's had wings. We used to trim his wings so that we could take him outside and not have to worry about him getting lost. In this winter, he's taken up this new practice where for a couple of hours in the morning and then again for a little bit in the afternoon, late afternoon, he practices flying back and forth through the house from one end to the other. And he'll do this, until he gets pretty tired. He'll start, when he's done it for a while, he'll start landing, and you can see him kind of struggling to catch his breath. He might take a drink of water, and he'll do some more. And he's giving himself a good workout, and he's getting a lot of practice flying, and he practices different kind of landing in different spots, and sometimes he'll practice landing on the ground and running for a little bit, flying some more, and landing on a really precise obstacle. Other times, like right now, here he's just landing on the top of the crow's house every time he comes in. But he doesn't always do that. So what I wanted to talk about was I wanted to just draw the comparison between Derrick and ourselves, because Derrick is training here and he's putting a lot of effort into his training. Just like we put a lot of effort into ours. But what's interesting to me is that as good as he is becoming at flying, navigating through the house, having quick movements and making quick decisions, and he practices also kind of like swooping past us or moving through very, very narrow spaces and these kind of things. All of these ways that he's training himself. What I know is that a magpie who lives outdoors, who's never been domesticated, doesn't have to spend a couple hours of every day doing this. They learn all of these skills in their day-to-day lives, being opportunists, looking for food, avoiding predators, sometimes sparring with one another. They learn all of these skills and they practice in a sense like all day long, just going about their lives, and they're actually way better at them than Derrick is. Derrick has gained some skills, to be sure, in his training, but he is nowhere near the master of his body that a natural living magpie is. And I wanted to point this out because Derrick is not unlike ourselves in our training, I don't think. In our own manner, we spend a chunk of our day training our bodies and to be healthy and to try to meet our human potential. But just in the same manner that Derrick, while domesticated, will never meet his magpie potential, will never be as skilled and agile and swift as a natural living magpie is. In the same manner, in our domestication and in our fitness regimens, we will never, I don't think, meet the potential of a human being, of a real human being, if there were human beings living naturally. And this is what is the kind of the mind-blowing thought, is that none of us, we here who are able to watch these videos online, none of us have ever met a real human being. A human being who's living the way that human beings were meant to live. A human being who, just by the nature of his everyday activities, of meeting the needs of his life, of socializing with his peers, of hunting, of avoiding predators, of besting enemies. A natural human being would no doubt have skills far beyond anything we really can imagine, because none of us have met such a person, such a being. I remember reading Burroughs' original version of Tarzan of the Apes, and his description of Tarzan is much like, I think, like what a natural human being might be able to do with their bodies, which was some pretty amazing stuff. And we only catch little fleeting glimpse of it, I think, in our fitness and sports, in our martial arts and parkour, in all of these things that we practice. Just like Derrick, he practices going through narrow things swiftly, he practices swooping, he practices speed, he practices accuracy, but he has nowhere near the skills in any of these ways that the outdoor magpies have, just that they've gained just in their lives. And he has to take special time out of his day to train, to have mediocre skills. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we too are, in our domestication, are taking extra time out of our day to train ourselves, and even those of us who have developed some pretty amazing skills, our skills are probably only mediocre compared to what real human beings' skills should be like. A real human being's skills would seem almost superhuman, I think, compared to what we know. And the best of what we know is so limited because none of us have ever met a real human being. Maybe none of us, maybe very few of us have even tried to imagine a real human being. We've just become so non-human and so used to our cages that it's hard for us to even fathom what life would be otherwise. And in this sense, you can see also that training is something that you would only do if you have a very bizarre, cushy, unnatural life where all of your needs are more or less met and you're safe and out of the elements and this kind of thing, just like Derrick is, just like Derrick's all safe and has plenty of food, has plenty of water, doesn't have to worry about anything. And so he has time to specially train. Not only does he have time to do it, but he needs to do it. Otherwise, he'll have bad health. So, anyway, just some thoughts that were on my mind watching Derrick come in and out of my bedroom like this.